Hi, I'm Scott. This is Pete and Rajesh. We're from oFlows out in San Francisco. And at the last Finovate, we talked about the dirty little secret that most online applications still turn into a big manual paper-based process. And we showed you how oFlows solves that paper problem. This time, we're going to tell you about how oFlows works face-to-face. So I went into a local branch a couple weeks ago and asked for a few simple products. And this is what I ended up with. There are 82 different products in this mess. And so after spending some time and sorting through all of this, I picked a couple of products that I wanted, which prompted the staff member to hand me more paper. This form I'm supposed to fill out by hand and mail to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It says, "We appreciate your business. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for processing." I'm sitting in the branch with a banker doing this. And so I looked at him and I said, you know, no matter what I do, whether I apply online, over the phone, or I come into the branch, I can't seem to get away from all this paper. He actually looked at me and said, yes, unfortunately, there is no escape from Paper Island, which I thought was a great line, but now there is, because we built oFlows to solve all of your paper problems. So now, instead of handing your customers a fistful of paper, you can hand them an iPad. And so here, we're going to be at Roasters Financial applying as Mr. Coffee on the iPad. On the iPad. In the camera, pointing at the iPad. There we go. So the first thing that happens is Mr. Coffee tells us a few things. What he's looking for, he wants to consolidate some bills, and he'll be able to maintain a certain balance. So because oFlows is all digital, we're able to tag all of the products, sort through them automatically, so that we just present the 5 or 6 products that are relevant to Mr. Coffee, not 82 different ones. So now, and all of the products have rich marketing materials associated with each one. These marketing materials are centrally managed. So if there are any changes in your products, you can make the change centrally and they roll out everywhere instantly. Once he picks the products he wants, he clicks the button, and the process is kicked off in the oFlows system. So the staff member enters a code into the iPad, and now the iPad and the staff member's computer are linked very securely through our new oFlows Connect technology. And that means as Mr. Coffee is giving the information, it's populating field by field. Mr. Coffee is watching it happen on the iPad, so he can make sure there are no mistakes. And that's important because traditionally, applications given verbally or in paper in the branches carry about a 20% error rate. And those errors cost you a lot of time, extra cost, and frustration down the line. And so once we get that first set of information, the oFlows Infinite Logic Decision Engine kicks in. And here we're going out and pulling all the credit data, account history data, existing customer data, anything we need to run your decision engine rules, do risk-based pricing, et cetera. We're also looking at all of your other products to see which products Mr. Coffee might also be qualified for that makes sense for him, given what he's looking for and the credit history that we're pulling here. This also works great over the phone, by the way. So if Mr. Coffee had started online at home, he could have picked up the phone with a question, called the call center, given them the oFlows Connect code, and they'd be instantly connected. They'd see exactly where he was and what he was doing. So here, Mr. Coffee gets a quote for the product he applied for, a couple other products that we think make sense for him. Those rich marketing materials, again, are right there. And now we're going to switch over to the computer that the staff member is looking at. And we can see here that because they're connected, the staff member is seeing exactly what Mr. Coffee sees, including those rich marketing materials, so they're literally on the same page, and he's getting staff tips related to those particular products. So FAQs on the page, anything you want your staff members to emphasize in that particular time. So these conversations become a lot richer and a lot more consistent across your whole organization. Now, we gather the rest of the information we need to fill out all of the documents involved in this transaction. We take a PDF and simply define the fields. And then, once all of the documents are ready, we switch control back over to the iPad. And if we can switch the camera back to the iPad, we'll see that the documents are now in Mr. Coffee's hands right on the iPad. He can do all the cool iPad stuff, zoom, really look at those documents. And when he's ready to sign, he clicks the sign button at the bottom. A signature pad appears right on the iPad where he can sign with his finger or with a stylus his actual signature. That signature is then embedded directly into the PDF document. Now that is a locked, legally enforceable contract e-signed on the iPad. And at this point, Mr. Coffee hands over his driver's license or his pay stubs, whatever we need to complete the file. And if we switch back over to the console, the computer, we can see that the staff member switched over to the oFlows console where everything we need for a complete file is there, including that document that Mr. Coffee signed 2 seconds ago. And that's available anywhere, including Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because it's web-based and secure. So the fine folks in Sioux Falls could see this file instantly, and they can see where it came from, the credit information, fraud and identity information. They can see supporting documentation, the credit report, everything they need, including that signed document, to make a decision right here. So they can make a decision while Mr. Coffee is still sitting there in the branch, not 4 to 6 weeks later. Now notice we just did that here on stage. Because oFlows is web-based and totally secure, you can take a laptop, an iPad, and a wireless hotspot, put it in a bag, and you've got a branch in a bag that you can take anywhere. To your customers' businesses, on campus, anywhere where you need to reach them. And those files can be reviewed instantly anywhere back at the home office. So oFlows makes these transactions much richer. And because, so you can escape from Paper Island. We'll help you do it. Because paperless is better, and at oFlows we do paperless better than anyone. Thank you.